Hello and welcome to another wonderful adventure with Roth, Blackhead Bill, Grangoth and Azraela. We spent some time travelling across the city of Daxio looking for the windy wharf, and had eventually made their way to its wonderful halls full of beer and all sorts of delights. Anyway, they had come because they had not been able to give Nevom the casket which they had found, and in fact couldn't find him, and were a bit concerned that in fact possibly he was not what he was made out to be. So, first of all, Blackhead Bill and Azraela had been training for a week, which meant that poor Blackhead Bill hadn't had a beer for 6 whole days, not including the Sunday they're off. Anyway, so he was really quite profoundly dry. He needed a good drink, and well, so they made their way to the windy wharf, and there they'd settled down for an evening of guzzling. They hadn't been there very long. In fact, they'd hardly been there any time at all when a group called the Sisters of Slaughter had turned up to sing one of their more, or perhaps less, famous songs, a madrigal of the dying orc, and a local had come in and said what a rubbish he was, and Blackhead Bill also said, yes, I agree, or some such thing in his loud, raucous manner, and he had upset a dwarf behind him in the bar, as you can see here, short fella, red thing on the top of his head. Anyway, the dwarf had taken exception to what Blackhead had said and gave him a good smack. This immediately raised all sorts of problems. There was some town guards that got upset with Roth. There was another barbarian that was with the dwarf whose name was Dory, and it looked like we were in for a bit of a fight. And because there'd been some locals in drinking most of the day, they decided they'd just throw their lot in with the other adventurers, not our crew. Anyway, Dory soon went down and spent the rest of the evening flat on his back, not conscious at all. So from there on in, it was a matter of trying to quell the action, or to in fact just get out of the place in one piece. I think that they all really quite enjoyed the rough and tumble. You can see Azraela, who at first had looked to Gort, who stood in the corner thinking that he might have a bit of a do with him, but in fact Gort wasn't interested in fighting at all. So Azraela jumped up on the table and attacked Waldo, who was attacking Roth. That was quite interesting. At the same time, Blackhead Bill was splitting skulls as he does, knocking people about. Still Gort there in the corner, not interested, but I think at this point Azraela is attacking the character called Waldo. In one of the rooms, fast asleep, was one of the locals who really had too much beer during the day. Still, Gort stands in the corner doing nothing while Roth and Azraela attack the guard and Waldo. And as you can see in this picture, Waldo now has been knocked to the ground. Roth takes the opportunity for a breather to heal as many people as he possibly can in his group, because they're all getting quite badly battered. Well, it might not seem this way, especially for Roth. He can't do an awful lot in hand-to-hand combat. He's not very good at punching people, so he does a bit of healing. Then finally, he gets thoroughly cheesed off. He manages to slip away from the 2 guards, leaving them for Azraela to sort out. He goes and stands pretty much on top of Waldo and casts lightning at the same time. During this loud explosion of sound, a local slips out and disappears off after the brawl. I wonder why. Well, perhaps we'll find out later on. Anyway, back to the fight. This encourages Gort to get back into the rough and tumble, and so he does, attacking poor Roth. At the same time, Blackhead is slowly but surely pouring his way through loads and loads of guards. 2 more of them appeared at the door, hearing the ruckus from the outside of the street, and came in. And there's the local disappearing off into the night. He's doing it incredibly slowly. I think he may have had more to drink than he actually thought he had, so probably stumbling. Anyway, there's Roth, still stood on wall though, being attacked by Gort. Azraela sorted out both the guards, and then Blackhead Bill has gone through most of the locals. So has Gwengoth. She's got rid of her local attacker to take her quite a long time. There they are, all fighting away. I'm going to have a breather. I'm tired. Not to say. Bit of a dark shot here, bit moody. Still, fisticuffs of dawn. Gort has gone down, is laying there, I think possibly across the table because of Gwengoth. She's attacked him from behind and given him a good thump in the back of the head, and he's gone down. This leaves now with hardly anybody actually up at all. They're all down, I think, except for the crew, which is rather lucky. It was the crew, I mean the adventurers, rather lucky. And there's, you can still see Grisbee over there in the corner of the bar, not looking very impressed at all. Lots and lots of mess, broken glass everywhere, things crushed. What did you think?
Well, to be honest with you, I was quite disgusted at the mess. I mean, I've known these people for years, and there wasn't any need, no need at all.
Yes, well, thank you very much. Anyway, as we said, at the last final shots here, we've got Gwengoth still, no, far off, pardon you, still stood on top of Waldo. There's Gwengoth astride a table. She often does that when she's had a few drinks. You can see the dwarf that started the whole rumpus in the background there lying. And at this point, the adventurers think, well, we've cleared up here. Wonderful stuff, let's get going. So until they step outside, they realise, well, who's got the casket? And, Blackhead, what casket are you talking about? It's the casket, Neville's casket. Oh, I don't know. And then, Azraela noticed the chap, who was very, very slow, disappearing off into the distance. They said, well, but he left, he was in the fight, perhaps he's got it. Let's follow him. That's what they intend to do. The next adventure will be to find the casket. Watch out for the next installment. Thank you for listening. I've been Daxio Roth.